swarming in here.
Yeah, it's kind of cool in here. Unusual. How did you do the last one on? Where's everybody? Not much of a crowd today, huh?
It's good, it's really nice outside.
Yeah. Holiday weekend, holiday.
I hate to do this to you, but I'll let it walk again. You better watch out. He was, I didn't know who he was. And, I didn't hesitate. I didn't fall right off his goddamn body. I said, I warned you, it's coming. Well, I found out who he was, I felt bad. I said, because I was sworn his son, Bob, and I played basketball together. Bob was nowhere near any of those guys. He was much like, no, the rest of them. He's in it. He was great.
Huh? Oh, okay, this is our new neighbor.
Yes.
Right on the corner of Tenth and High, the yellow house with the beautiful yard.
Taft and High.
Right.
Okay. I gotta think about it. I gotta drive by it.
Pretty much across from
You can
me
walk to it.
It's on the corner.
It's right on the corner
Oh,
of
okay.
Tenth and High.
Okay.
Yellow house, yellow barn, a yellow shed.
Yes.
Keep your
I'm sure I will.
Quiet. And I'm the one that gave you information. That you need, back. Well, there you go.
He was gonna have an extra drink and he wouldn't be able to pick you up, so we told him, how you doing?
Okay. She was a really nice lady. Marilyn? Yes, it is. But she kept that house immaculate. I thought she did.
Mine's the floors that are
Yeah, that's right, she did have, and she took care of some feral cats too. Oh, yeah. In fact, my daughter, my daughter took over one of her feral cats.
Got a minute and a half.
There's
also nice outside of the city.
I gotta do one basket. Oh, she calls me. The one basket I put one chicken in. One chicken, and I wanted, and what I wanted, I put like a whole chicken.
But that's okay.
Well, if you need, I don't know, if you need a furnace, there's a guy I use, he's really good. Get it though. But, you know, I was going to want to talk about this because they have it on. It was just easy.
The lead weight. Might be accused of doing something early. Good evening. Welcome to the May 20th meeting, regular meeting of Bedford City Council.
If you would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Smith?
Here.
Asbury?
Here.
Longino?
Here.
Cochee?
Here.
Spinks?
Here.
Salvi?
Here.
Fluharty?
Here. Council, you have the minutes of the work session of May 6th, 2024. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance by Spinks, second by Fluharty? Call the roll, please.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes. You have the minutes of the regular meeting of May 6th, 2024. Any corrections to that one? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance by Smith, second by Longino? Call the roll, please.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes. And you have the minutes of the ward meeting for wards 2 and 5 of May 13th, 2024. Any corrections to those? Seeing none, motion for acceptance by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes. Under unfinished business, we have resolution number 2613-24.
Yes, sir. A resolution declaring the necessity to improve certain streets in the city of Bedford, Ohio by lighting the same and declaring an emergency.
And we would like to put that on second reading. Do I have a motion for such? By Smith, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes. Resolution number 2614-24.
Declaring the necessity of assessing the expense of garbage, refuse collection, recycling, and disposal within the city of Bedford and certifying to the county auditor the cost due to the city of Bedford for garbage and rubbish collections and declaring an emergency.
It's also our wish to put that on second reading. Can I have a motion as such? By Smith, second by Fluharty. Spinks. Sorry.
He used to be a Smith.
Second by Fluharty. Before we vote, I want to assure everybody that, and I've heard this from a couple people, we are not raising garbage fee rates. This is just to keep it on the books. So, at least not this year, we're not. But this information gets out there all the time. We are not raising the garbage fees this time. Call the roll, please.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes. Ordinance number 28-24.
Is an ordinance determined to proceed with the improvement of certain streets in the city of Bedford, Ohio by lighting the same and declaring an emergency.
And again, we wish to put this on second reading. Have a motion for such by Asbury, second by Longino. Call the roll, please.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes. Ordinance number 29-24.
It's an ordinance levying special assessments for the improvement of the street and public places of the city of Bedford, Ohio by lighting of the same in accordance with the resolution number 2613-24 and ordinance number 28-24 and declaring an emergency.
And again, we wish to put that on second reading. Can I have a motion for such by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes. Reports, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. a few items this evening. First, want to take a minute and congratulate Lieutenant Mike Stask. Mike was selected as the successful candidate to become the new police chief for the Bedford Police Department. Mike will take over when Chief Stemple retires later this year, so kudos to Lieutenant Stask. The Development Department and Service Department are working on a recently released tree grant. It's a tree canopy grant offered through county planning. We are looking to secure funds that would allow us to purchase and plant between 100 and 150 trees. That is due in the next couple of weeks, and we'll have that in and wait to hear the results. Want to announce that the municipal pool will open on June 7th, which we're excited about that. It's earlier than last year, and all the improvements have been completed, so we're off to a good start of the summer. And while we're talking about Parks and Recreation, I just wanted to touch on something that Mike Callahan, our director, shared with me last week. And it's in regards to a program that we are a part of. And that program, it's a little long. They refer to it as ACE, but it's called the Ohio After School Child Enrichment Educational Savings Account Program. It's a lot there. But basically what that program does is it provides funds to children's parents or guardians for them to use for various enrichment, educational, or programs. As council and everyone knows, we've drastically expanded the programs being offered through the Parks and Recreation Department. Well, to date, we've been part of ACE for 11 months. And over the last 11 months, our staff have been able to get our families back $33,567 towards programming. So our families are signing the youth and the children up, and they're getting all of that covered through ACE. And that's outstanding. That's not even 1 year. And I think we're providing educational and enrichment services to the children of Bedford, and to get that money back, it's kudos to Mike Callahan, Bob Plisky, Sarah Gennady, all the staff down there at Elmwood. That really, it's outstanding. So I wanted to point that out. Much appreciated. And lastly, just a friendly reminder, Memorial Day Parade, Monday, 10 o'clock sharp. It'll start here on Center Road, make our way to the Commons, and then we'll conclude and we'll move our way to the cemetery. End of report.
Just a reminder that parade has been going on for over 150 years here in town, which is remarkable. And it is a solemn parade to memorialize those that gave their lives to this country. And some of the kids out there know we do not throw candy, no sirens, no horns. Again, it is a solemn parade. We march down to our commons. There'll be a few remarks made, and then down to Bedford Cemetery for a concluding service. So I hope everybody can come out and take part in that celebration of what those guys did for us, and women. Mr. Law Director.
I think you have no report, just I hope everybody enjoys the weekend. End of report.
Thank you. Madam Finance Director.
Thank you, Mayor. Just real briefly, I did want to congratulate Mike Stask and looking forward to his swearing in the next couple of months. And that's the end of the report. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
Just like to say good evening to everyone that's present and watching. I really don't have anything tonight in the report.
Thank you. Mr. Asbury.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations to Lieutenant/Chief Stask. I believe he had mentioned that or I think it was Mike, you mentioned that he scored 100% on the exam, and he said that his kids helped him, so that's a smart kid. Good for him. Congratulations. People have been asking, the city event calendar has finally been posted on the city's website and the Facebook pages. thanks to those who came out for last Monday's ward meeting. Thank you, Kathy. Good to see you again. Chipper service is the week of June 3rd. Make sure you call to get on the list. As far as Memorial Day, it is a solemn event. Last year, we were blessed to have a flyover. I hear it might happen again this year, but you're gonna have to come down and join us to make sure. And for anybody interested, this Friday, New Day Cleveland on Fox 8, Bedford's own Jimmy D'Angelo, from Casa D'Angelo in Macedonia, and the family that owns D'Angelo's Ristorante in Twinsburg will be featured. So give that a look if you want to. Thanks, end of report.
Thank you. Mr. Longino.
Hello, Mr. Mayor. First, I want to say I'm sorry that I'm not going to be able to attend our Memorial Day Parade because I'm a member of Solon VFW and I'm a member of the Honor Guard, so I always march in that as a member of the Honor Guard. So, first one in City Council, I'm going to miss it, but give my apologies at early now, so somebody won't say, where was he? That's where I was at. I was in Solon marching in the parade in the VFW. I want to say last week was Police Memorial Week, and as a police officer, as you can see, I'm wearing my thin blue line tie to represent my fallen officers. Sad to say, the start of it started with a down officer in the city of Euclid, 23-year-old. I'm sure everybody heard about that, but hard way for the week to start and end. His services were this past Saturday, so God rest his soul and bless his family and all my brothers and sisters in blue. Happy to say, I didn't know it was out there like that, but a city manager said something about it last at the ward meeting. Get Go. Get Go is ready, it's going to be, it's sold, it's in the process, so I'm happy to hear about that, not just as a council member, as a president who bought a lot of coffee from there back in the day when it was going, and sandwiches, so I'm hoping they have everything like that as well. Grass cut, people, please cut your grass. And I want to start by saying City Council does not go out and write warnings. We do not write warnings. That is not our job. So I know that rumor has been out there that we're out riding the street looking at people's houses and writing them warnings. I mean, unless I found out something that I didn't know, because I've only been in City Council a few months. That's not what we do, right?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. So the answer is no, we don't. Cut your grass and make sure you got standing water and things like that with mosquitoes and deer ticks and all those things that come along with it. Juneteenth is coming up, and we're going to have a celebration at the high school, and I'm part of the committee that will be part of the Juneteenth Freedom Run is what we'll be calling the 5K run or walk. I want to thank my man. I gave him a new name. I call him 3M. That's my man Mike, so that's what he's called now. I call him 3M because anytime I've hit him up, he's helped me out and taken care of all the problems I've had. I want to end on one note, kind of a little personal. I'm here. If you want to meet me, you want to talk to me, you can count on me being here. No need to go. You know, other people think, I haven't seen him, I haven't talked to him, or he's this and he's that. You get to know me. My father, a wise man, once told me, he said, Tone, you want everybody to like you. Well, get to know me and you'll like me. If not, maybe you might get to know me and not like me, but at least get to know me, you know, rather than jumping on social media and thinking something about me when, like I said, I'm here. You can talk to me and I'll answer all your questions. Anything you might have had to know about me. Probably sometimes I'll tell you too much, but that is my report.
Thank you. Mrs. Binks.
Good evening, everybody. With Mr. Longino talking about the senseless loss of the young officer, police mom, a very proud mother. My son, Drew Lewis, Officer Drew Lewis, Lieutenant Drew Lewis, is an officer in Lockhart, Texas, and he's had a couple of very close calls, and as a mom, I've asked him several times, why do you want to continue to do this? And he said, because someone has to, and it's in my heart. So one of our officers are back here. Thank you very much for doing what you do, because it's not an easy task, but thank you. Y'all are truly heroes. Same goes for, everybody knows how I feel about our fire department too, But thank y'all for what you do, and I know when that happens, that's a brother, even if you don't have personally never met them. And Tony, thank you so much too for your years of service, and thank you guys. As a mom, that gets home, and I'm very, very proud of my son for wanting to do that and to protect. And with that being said, I'm gonna, on a happier note, I had the honor last week of being at the high school, at Bedford High School twice last week. Monday was acting as the vice mayor for the, there was 5 young athletes that were signing their college papers to be for scholarships. And so that was very exciting. We had 5 young people, and one of the young ladies, I had the pleasure of mentoring her at one time, and she is going to Tri-C on a scholarship for track. And a lot of the kids, I heard them kind of Tri-C. Well, Tri-C has really upped their game, and she says, you know, I didn't do this until later on, my junior year, and she says, it's close to home. She says, accredited, and if I get hurt or something, I'm still getting a good education, and then I can go on and see what else I want to do. So, really proud. Our school sometimes gets a bad rap. We've got good kids, we've got good teachers, we've got smart kids. Yeah, you're always going to have some bad kids. That's anywhere, but I'm in that school quite a bit. And then on Thursday, from about 8:15 to about 3 o'clock, I got the honor of being a part of a program evaluation team for the federal funding program for the National Automotive Technical Education Foundation. It was really neat. It's just going in there, and this is, like I said, on the federal level. Every 5 years they do this evaluation of, in just low terms, it's a shop class. And my dad had a store in a full service station, so at a very young age, that was back when it was full service. You did, you know, check the fluid, you did, girls, you know, I had no choice, but Dad made me do it, but learn how to do things, change your tire, do stuff like that. And I'm so proud that we have 2 young ladies that are juniors that are in the shop class, and you know, it's one of those things that used to, women couldn't, you know, that wasn't acceptable, but now there's quite a few, and I know 2 that are very successful in the business. They work on big trucks, they do a lot of things that men do. And so it's a really good program. I'm real excited about what's going to be going on when the new high school comes in, when the cosmetology department and the culinary department are going to be moving. So there's some good stuff on the horizon. I know a lot of the residents are like, well, resident myself, about, you know, taxes going up and the new schools and stuff. But more and more that I'm getting involved and learning about it, there's some good stuff going to be going on. Let's see. Also, a little thank you to a 6-year-old young man that I've had the pleasure of meeting a couple of weeks ago. He goes to Central School. He lives on the corner of Wandle and Southwick. And he has been picking up trash with his dad in the morning before he goes to school, and he had to show me he got one of those little grabbers like I do. I talked to him this morning, so kudos to him, and thanks for his dad getting out there and helping Miss Sandy pick up some trash in Ward 1. Talk about the grass. Thank you, Tony, for saying that. So yeah, we don't write tickets. Our police officers don't write tickets for grass either. They have enough of stuff. But when you do mow your grass, please remember, do not blow it out in the streets. If your landscaper does, please have them blow it back up on the tree lawn, because it gets in the cast basin and not a good thing. Did talk to Mike Malice. I had a couple residents were asking, and I was asking myself, the flash and stop signs that were, one that was at the end of Grand as you go on to Center Road. It was hit by a car, so it's not working. Mike assured me that it's going to be up and running again. Talked to Mike about this. I also talked about this at last council meeting about the problem with the parking at the Bedford All Mall bar again this weekend, and I know there was calls and stuff. They are, not only are they parking in no parking place, they're taking over, they were parking at the Mazda, at the old Mazda place. They were trying to park on Broadway. This trash this morning was horrendous. Sunday about 8 o'clock, but I talked to Mike Mouse about this. And last but not least, don't forget, Strawberry Kickoff, the 60th year anniversary for the Bedford Historical Society Strawberry Festival. The kickoff is Sunday, June 2nd from 1 to 5. The actual Strawberry Festival is the next weekend, the 7th, 8th, and 9th. When it started out 60 years ago, it was on the first Sunday, and it was like 1 to 5, it was just an ice cream social. This year we decided that we're gonna do the car show with it, and there will be, again, it's 1 to 5, June the 2nd, and then, car shows, got a lot of cars coming in. Broadway will be closed down. Businesses are closed on Sunday, so it's a good day to have it. There will be 2 bands. There'll be hot dogs, there'll be food to purchase through the Historical Society, so make sure you mark that date, and everybody have a blessed Memorial Day. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Selby?
Good evening. Heads up to residents who live on Columbus Road or often use Columbus Road from I-271 to Bartlett Road. The Bedford Heights side of Columbus Road is expected to be repaired sometime this summer. As a result, traffic on this section of Columbus currently is expected to be only westbound on Columbus during construction, and there will be an eastbound detour, so plan for travel delays. Meadowbrook Market Square. I visited the Meadowbrook Market Square last Friday after being notified by a Bedford resident that there was a large number of police cruisers in the Meadowbrook parking lot. An officer explained that they had responded to a large number of Garfield Heights teenagers who had converged in the parking lot as part of an unauthorized prom activity. My question is, why do these teens seem to believe that they can do donuts on a major street in Bedford and illegally gather here and risk fewer consequences than if they did the same in Garfield Heights? Grass clipping. Several residents complained about residents who cut their grass or use a landscape service mowing grass clippings into city streets. Please remember, it is a city violation to leave grass in the street. Grass washes into the city sewer system, which helps cause blockages, flooding, and contributes to the overall cost of sewer infrastructure, which comes out of taxpayers' pockets. Wet or dry grass clippings in a street can also cause motorcycles to lose traction and their control and crash. Bedford water and sewer system. If you are on a tight budget, start budgeting for a likely future increase in your water sewer bill. A substantial increase is due to the city's requirement to be in compliance with federal and Ohio EPA administrative regulations. To achieve compliance, very expensive infrastructure must be designed, constructed, and installed. That cost is likely going to be reflected in my and your future city water and sewer bills. Taft Park, monitoring of Taft Park continues. I visit the park daily to keep an eye on park activity. Last Thursday, a concerned resident called police after several cars were racing around the block and entering and exiting Taft Park. On another day this week, I also called Bedford Police Department after finding a vehicle in the parking lot after closing time. The vehicle then left the park. As I mentioned last week, Taft Park is a no-go zone for those who want to engage in illegal activity. You will eventually be caught. Wrong-way drivers. I can verify resident complaints that some drivers are treating Darlington Road as a two-way street. Last Wednesday, I observed a vehicle driving down the street going the wrong way. The solution is likely a combination of improved one-way signage and more police surveillance, especially during the time the high school students leave school. loitering for the purpose of illegal activity. In order to make additional progress in bringing normalcy to some of the strip centers in Ward 2, I have begun legal research involving helpful Bedford ordinances and the Ohio Revised Code, such as Section 291121, criminal trespassing. When legally permissible, individuals need to be arrested and prosecuted. If the laws are not enforced, the threat to public safety increases and the economic viability of Bedford businesses will likely decline, as will the quality of life of residents. Crockett County is reappraising properties you own this year, and they plan to substantially increase property values, which will increase your annual property tax. I suggest you can test the valuation. If you believe the valuation is incorrect, on May 30th from 6 to 8 p.m., county officials will be at Solon Community Center, 35,000 Ports Parkway in Solon, to answer your questions about how to contest your property values. You can also call 216-443-7000 if you can't make that presentation. I would like to end by acknowledging Euclid Police Officer Jacob Durbin, whose young life of 23 years was unfortunately and senselessly taken last Saturday evening. According to news reports, Deshaun Vaughn, 24, a known Cleveland criminal, murdered Officer Durbin. Vaughn has had outstanding warrants and should have been locked up for the public safety and that of this young police officer. Pray for the safety of our police officers, because Deshaun Vaughn could have just as easily murdered an officer here. Unfortunately, there are other Deshaun Vaughns with outstanding warrants, and these criminals and are manipulators whom only care about themselves. Thank you, and a report.
Thank you. Mr. Fluharty?
I just got one little thing here. June 1st, which is 2 weeks away, almost 2 weeks, we're renaming the tot lot over on West Glendale, well, actually it's between West Glendale and Turney Road along the railroad tracks, after Councilwoman Paula Mezak, who passed away about a year and a half or so ago. That's Saturday, June 1st at 11 o'clock. Mike, we're all set for all that? Okay. Anybody that wants to come, it's gonna get there a little earlier because it's gonna be a little crowded. But we've been putting this in the makings for a while, and we're finally getting this all done, and she deserved it. So, in the report.
Thank you. Our first two motions for new business, we're going to vote on reappointing two members of our planning commission. Before I do that, I just want to say thank you to all the people on all our boards that come out and volunteer to help us out and work on planning and zoning and civil service, the tree board, several more. We certainly appreciate it, because if they didn't volunteer their time, we'd be sitting up here every day of the week doing this stuff. But they do a great job for us, and these next two people we're going to vote on have been on planning for a while now and have both done commendable jobs there. And I personally want to recommend both of them for reappointment. Okay. And again, I just want to say thanks to them. And we do have two vacancies on our board of building standards and zoning appeals. So if anybody is interested in serving on a board, even on any of the other boards, we like to keep a list to fill in if we need them. Contact Tracy at our council office and let her know you're interested, and write a short letter or a resume to say why we would like to be on there. And they say we count on our citizens stepping up to do these jobs. And again, thanks to all of them. So with that, let's get on with our new business. Motion to reappoint Helen Briggs to the Planning Commission. Can I have a motion? By Spinks, second by Fluharty. Clerk, call the roll.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Motion to reappoint Satara Williams to the Planning Commission by Longino, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Resolution number 2616-24.
Is a resolution approving and accepting the proposed 2023 tax budget for the year January, or 2024, I'm sorry, tax budget for the year January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency.
It's our wish to put that on first reading, but Jen, can you give us a brief rundown? Want to do the motion first? Okay, can I have a motion to put resolution 2616 on first reading by Smith, second by Asbury?
Sure, just real quick, there's three purposes for the tax budget. It allows the county auditor to set the property tax rate for next year. It's still gonna maintain at the 21.7 mils that it's been since November 3rd, 2009. It allows the city of Bedford to receive undivided local government revenue, and a local government revenue assistance, in 2025. And also allows county auditor to provide the city of Bedford with a certificate of estimated resources, which limits the amount of money council can appropriate for the year 2025. So this doesn't appropriate any funds, this mainly sets the amount of revenue that is going to be available next year in order to spend. And that's all, thank you.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Resolution number 2617-24.
Is a resolution requesting the county auditor to advance taxes from the proceeds of tax levies for the year 2024 collected in 2025 pursuant to section number 321.34 of the Ohio Revised Code of the State of Ohio and declaring an emergency.
And I have a motion for suspension by Longino, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Motion for third and final. Spinks, second by Fluharty. Jennifer, please.
Yes, this resolution is simply asking the county auditor to send the property tax funds to the city in installments rather than in two separate lump sum payments for the two different halves of the year for the property tax collections.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Ordinance number 33-24.
Is an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract between the city of Bedford and Firefighters Local 1683, the International Association of Firefighters, adopting the terms of the attached tentative agreement and ordering them into effect and declaring an emergency.
I have a motion for suspension by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Motion for third and final by Asbury, second by Smith. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. The city concluded contract negotiations with the police department and AFSCME, Public Works staff, end of 2023. We continue negotiating with the fire union, ultimately coming to an agreement approximately a month ago. The union did ratify that agreement last week unanimously. And the new collective bargaining agreement is for 2024 through 2026. It does have wage increases that are equal to the other unions, as well as healthcare contributions and other contract amendments. It's administration's recommendation that we approve that this evening.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Now we come to the hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Carter, and I live at 470 Taft Avenue. I am all of 8 months new to Bedford. I moved here from Canton to be closer to my daughter and my grandchildren. I chose this city, first off, because it's where I found a home, a very nice home. I also chose this city because I did a lot of research on Bedford, and I felt that this was an appropriate city for me to live in. As I get older, I wanted somewhere that I thought I was going to be safe in, somewhere that I thought was going to be a nice small community, that you guys had a lot of activities to offer, families. I like it here, I do. People have been super friendly. I feel safe in my home. You know, Steve's been readily available for any concerns. I am the resident, I am the citizen that called the cops this week about Taft Park. I drive by there every day on my way home from work. I work at UH Hospital. I know what normal traffic should look like for that park. I don't feel like I can take my 5-year-old granddaughter down there to play at any point. When I drive by and there are 6 vehicles congregating in that park and not a single one of them has a child. They are leaning into each other's vehicles. I went home, it was Thursday night between 8 and 8:30. I called the Bedford police. I was asked, have you seen any illegal activity? I worked in drug and alcohol for 20 years. I don't need to see illegal activity to know that something is not right in that park. They just kind of fluffed me off like I was unimportant. I'm going to tell you that right now. So I waited. I was in my front yard gardening. Pretty soon the cars started coming and going out of the park. They were drag racing up and down the street. I felt that was good enough for me, so I called a second time, and the lady said, well, you didn't talk to me previously. And I said, well, I'm talking to you now. I want an officer to come out and check out the park. In the meantime, I saw Steve come home. I mentioned this to him because I know that he's working on some things with that park. While we were standing outside, a Bedford police officer drove down the street. They didn't even slow down. They didn't drive into the park. I'm not the type of person that's going to call the police every 2 seconds for nothing. That's not who I am. But I feel like if I call the police because I feel like something needs to be checked out, it needs to be checked out. Drive through the park. At least make the effort to pull in the parking lot and see what's going on. See if they're exchanging drugs. See if they're drinking. Neighbors should be able to go and take their children to that park and use that facility. We pay 8% tax in Cuyahoga County. It is ridiculous for us to not be able to use the services here. And I want to feel safe in my neighborhood. Thank you for listening to my complaint. By the way, I'm sorry that everybody on Facebook feels the need to complain about you guys. I think you do a fabulous job. Thank you. And people need to be more involved.
If I may say something, I forgot my prop because after this I went down to the park and there's alcohol containers and I was gonna bring in the bottle of tequila I found in the parking lot, which was very probably from the folks who were in those vehicles.
Thank you, Jeff. City manager made note.
Kathy Williams, 491 Lamson. I have to agree with her. I live by the police department, and that is the reason why at ward meeting that I said, is this new chief going to have our officers be more aggressive? 1 o'clock in the morning, there's a car parked on the wrong side of the street in front of my house, music blasting, neighbor calls the officer or dispatch. The officer pulls out of Lee Court and drives around them and keeps on going. Not a whoop whoop to get them moving. They're on the wrong side of the street at 1:30 in the morning. Yesterday, 25 firecrackers going off to celebrate somebody's death. Not one officer showed up. I doubt if anybody called because it does no good. I've complained about this before. I have heard an officer say it's not worth the fight, and it's now time that the fight should be. We live in a changing community. We live in a changing society. You can't have people my age, older, younger, paranoid and frightened. And we need to have officers step up to the plate. And hopefully with this new chief, cracks the whip. Hopefully. That's my piece.
Thank you.
Okay, to continue with the complaints. This goes back
Excuse me.
years ago.
If I could name an address.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nick Sullivan, the address is 85 Best Street. It regards a garage that's a disaster. It's ready to fall down and garbage all over the yard. The yard is 100 John Street. This has been going on for years. It all began when my neighbor decided to sell his home right next door to me. And we're conversing, sitting outside. He's sitting on the deck. He says, "Oh, you know what? What if we're going to have trouble because of that?" "What?" That dump. He says, "People are going to come and look at my house, and what kind of neighborhood is this? Allow a dump like that to exist?" Okay, he said, "Well, I'm going to call the city and, issue a complaint," which he did. Then he asked me to keep an eye out because the housing inspector was going to come out and he was going to be at work. So he did, invited him on the property, went in the back. He looked at all the garbage all over the backyard. He looked at the condition of the garage, took pictures. The garage roof is sagging in the center. There's moss all over the shingles and they're deteriorating. And there's a bulge in the side of the garage. It's ready to fall down. So that entire year, nothing's happening. The inspector did come out a couple times to finally get her to clean up the grass. Nothing done with the garage. So the next spring, 2023, called again to get an update. The woman in the Public Works Department that answered, and I said, 100 John Street, she says, "Oh, I got good news." "Oh, what?" She says, she called the city, indicated she had a contract to get the garage demoed and the property cleaned. I said, "That's great." She said, "It's going to be done by the end of September." So, April, May, June, July, August, September. I'm looking at a dump and I'm looking at garbage. I want to go in my backyard, sit on my deck, and look at garbage. So, September, I call, "What's happening?" There's details and things. I'm still working on it. Came out, took some more pictures. It's the same dump. So, waited again. Called the city. I believe it was around the middle of April this year. And again, the woman that answered the phone in Public Works Department indicated that when I mentioned the address again, she said, oh, the housing inspector's gonna be out there May 1st. He's got issues that she's gotta resolve with her. I said, okay, I'll wait till May 1st. A couple weeks go by. I waited for a week after May 1st, called up. He wasn't there. I left a message indicating who I am, my address, and asked when that garage would be demolition. They didn't even have the courtesy to call me back. Thank you. Obviously, the inspector's not doing his job. So when I'm requesting, I got a request to issue to the law director. I know the city can't issue fines or penalties, but the law director has the authority to do so. Maybe if you fine her the first of the month, $500 for every month that garbage is existing, she'll stop thumbing her nose at the city and get it demolished. So, I mean, 3 years. Who's not doing their job?
Mike, you want
I'd have to, if you leave me your phone number, I'll call you and confirm, but I believe the individual has been cited and has to appear in court. There's a point where we are required to send multiple notices, 3 notices before they're actually cited, and at that point, the matter ends up in court. I'm almost certain, because I've worked with your councilman, Mr. Fluharty, on this. He's brought it to our attention. He's fully aware of it.
He's fully aware of what's going on.
Absolutely, as I am. And I know they've been out there. I've seen the first notice, second notice. I believe I've shared those with the council member, and I'm almost certain the individual was cited, at which point it's up to the court. I don't know if extensions have been granted. I'm not sure, but I can look into that, and I can call you in the morning.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, you know, when normal people are putting their garbage out, she's going up and down the streets, getting that garbage and bringing it to her yard. I don't want to look at that. I mean, 3 years, that's ridiculous.
I would agree with you.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, motion for adjournment. Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Thank you for coming.